in the field of painting, there are all these opportunities to kind of declare your identity. And I think one of the things that's sort of appealing about these compositions is that they do have this sort of insistent phallic nature, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But every form that sticks into something only sticks into something because there's two other forms that are sticking into it from the other direction. So it's sort of like, they're kind of like male and female at the same time. They're I don't know, I do think that there's something kind of I think that they are driven by a kind of energy that I experience in terms of masculinity.
Yeah, as a male artist, that's that's probably one way you express yourself.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to Tom about when you go into Home Goods, when he was talking about the marketing, you go into Home Goods, you go into Ethan Allen. There's what people have decided is good for what to put on their walls. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting, and I didn't know if there was a play on that too. If marketing it in that way was from the beginning, or did that just come out of it eventually?
It all happened at the same time.
Okay.
I was smoking a lot of pot that week.
Because I know when did Tom become a part of the idea?
Well, he came over after I made like the third or fourth one, and he liked them. And actually, we were having a little get together or something. No, he was here on a Friday night, and I just felt bored with the conversation that him and this other guy were having, so I made one, and he watched it happen. And I think he was kind of interested in the way that it got made.
Yeah, no, I definitely think what Barb was saying about being too analytical about your work that could definitely affect it. So going the opposite approach.
It's painful, and John has certainly reached a level of his painting that does demand a lot of you psychologically. They're really good. So this is as I said, a completely different compartment.
Well, it'd be nice if all my paintings got made more or less this way. I'm really like the reason that I'm making that drawing is because I want to first. I need to make a value drawing after I make the line drawing. And then I just want to do it like paint by numbers, but use my fingers instead of the brushes, because I find the brushes are just, everything just gets too, look how good that is, sort of thing, I mean, it's like the idea of people, that you produce an object that people are supposed to make a judgment about in terms of your sensitivity, virtuosity is kind of repulsive, I think.
But, Neil Oliver actually arrived at sort of a paint by number. Actually going almost like a grid. You do the upper left corner. Really nice. He was at Marble Gallery. I had an opportunity to hear more about his painting practice. So clearly, speaking of virtuosity, you look at that. I have a huge admiration for drawing. Sometimes I'll just go to the Morgan Library and look at drawings. And it's something that very few artists can do, draw really well. And I think it separates the men from the boys, and your drawing is outstanding. There was
I'm liking this big one, the big pencil drawing. It was really hard. I got stuck on it for a long time.
It's very hard. Drawing is hard because it's
But
about articulation.
It's kind of starting to happen now.
You're articulating something. And
it's like intensely abstract because you can make a drawing that like says like that implies what color and value are with just lines. I think that's really pretty nutty.
it is. Many.
Yeah,
Beautiful sense of space,
yeah.
air, and value.
Yeah, before Leonardo too, it's like nobody ever shaded in, there was no sfumato, there was no, what's that other one that, well, it doesn't matter. Everything was about the density and the weight of the lines. There was no, people didn't draw in value, and I think that's sort of, I like that purity, I like the rigor of that. Because once you start going down the road of like putting value in the drawings, in a way it's like, it's successful when it starts to look like a black and white photograph, if it's a realistic drawing or something like that. So and that is a beautiful thing to look at, a really nicely modulated value drawing in charcoal. It's like, wow, how beautiful. But I think that there's a step that comes before that just has to do with the lines.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I never learned that when I was in school, so I'm kind of trying to teach it to myself now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I saw it, but I didn't have to do it. So I charcoal, big messy charcoal drawings is what gets taught in art school. The other thing I think is wasn't when I was in the art education that I had, it was just something that kind of got skipped over.
Oh, I think a lot got lost in the shuffle between the late 70s. You had a few people that was completely comfortable grappling with figure, drawing and figure painting. Who's doing figure painting? Very few people.
Well, there's tons of good painters out there. Now,
Yeah, but
they will have to compete against a 10-pronged hawk attack. It's going to make things very difficult for them.
But when you're in that studio alone, which we are, there's no way around the aloneness being in the studio. How do you shut that door on all those other painters and that, that it is a dog show now, that the art, the open studios and just trotting out all the dogs. Who gets best in show? And I mean, that's what I'm really trying to rethink, is how the whole gallery structure.
Well, it's really difficult behind the people are in that make artworks because it's like I was saying before, it's like, generally speaking, they kind of take a long time and you're stuck having to charge all this money for them and trying to convince people to spend a lot of money on something. You have to sort of like, create this story of specialness, and I don't think that objects have to be. I don't think that they have to have that degree of specialness or rarity about them in order to have value for people. Like, why shouldn't everybody be able to afford to hang a painting on their wall?
I like what Sean said a minute ago, using Ethan Allen's words. What they've decided would be good on people's walls.
Yeah, no, it just seems very strange. I mean,
Yeah, my parents always